by those who are perfectly realized the self, Purushaihi, by persons, Abhishtutam, worshipped by. Translation: the personality of Godhead, being thus very much satisfied with the penance of Lord Brahma, was pleased to manifest his personal abode, Vaikunta, the supreme planet above all others. This transcendental abode of the Lord is adored by all self-realized persons, freed from all kinds of miseries and fear of illusory existence. That's a big purport. So we'll start off with the class. Mukam karoti vakshalam pangulangaayate girim yatkapaham tamaham vande Shri Guru Yatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Hi Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, your voice is very clear, so you just continue. We can hear very clearly.
Okay.
Hare Bol.
So in the previous chapter, second canto, 8th chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is mentioning Shrunvataha Shraddhaya Nityam Prinatascha Svacheshtitam Kalena Nati Dirgena Bhagavan Vishate Riddhi. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a very short time. So Parikshit Maharaj is near to his death. He was cursed by a Brahmana boy that he is going to die within 7 days. And Parikshit Maharaj gave up his family, his kingdom, and then he approached Shukadeva Goswami and is begging him, so please tell me more about Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tatvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. The duty of a human being, the prime duty of a human being is to approach a guru, serve him nicely, and ask him questions relevant to the soul and the super soul. So Maharaj Parikshit has approached Shukadeva Goswami, surrendered to him, and begging him to reveal the knowledge about Bhagavan Krishna so that he can develop a loving devotional attitude to the Supreme Lord. This is the purpose of human life. The purpose of human life is not to do social service, is not to take care of family, take care of nation. The only service of human life is to serve Krishna. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevah sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Krishna is mentioning, so you should become a Mahatma. And who is a Mahatma? Who understands Krishna is everything in life and I should become his servant. This is called as Brahma Jignasa. Being born as a human being, the Vedanta Sutra starts with this line, Athato Brahma Jignasa. So should inquire about Krishna. Who is Krishna? So when Brahma was created, he was also very jignasa. He was born out of a lotus flower, and above is darkness, below is darkness. So he wanted to inquire why I am born, who has created me, what is the purpose of my creation. And then he began to wander around. He went above in the sky He tried to search out for God by himself, by his own effort, physical effort. He began to fly. He couldn't reach the end. Then he started to take the path of the lotus flower, stalk of the lotus flower. He went down, down, still he couldn't reach the end. Then he heard the sound, tapaha, 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 3 times. Then Brahma did tapasya for so many millions of years. After doing tapasya for millions of years, Krishna appeared in his heart and gave the knowledge of all the Shastras, Vedic knowledge. And he said he was very happy by Brahma's tapasya. With dedicated devotion, he did tapasya. And Krishna said, I am very happy by your dedicated effort. So I am revealing myself to you. And Krishna shows his spiritual form, and also he shows his Vaikuntha Loka, Golok Vrindavana. So Krishna, after gaining this knowledge, now he is revealing the same knowledge to all the Devatas, and through Srimad Bhagavatam, we are also able to gain this knowledge. So this is how the knowledge of spiritual world flows through Guru, Shishya, Parampara. With our effort, by our physical strength, by our money, or by our material knowledge, whatever we are, a scientist, a doctor, with these things, we cannot understand the nature of the spiritual world or the nature of Krishna. So if you want to understand Krishna, if you want to reach the spiritual world, the only path is surrender to Guru and Krishna. So Brahma reveals that above this material world, there is an eternal, blissful, a spiritual world. And this world which we are staying is a world of illusion. As the Upanishads mention, Asatoma Sadgamaha, Tamasima Jyotirgamaha, Mrutoma Amritagamaha. The world we are staying is Asat. It is temporary. And it is tamas. It's filled with darkness. We don't know who we are, what is going to happen in the future, always in anxiety, stress. And there is death, Mrutoma. But there is one more world which is beyond this material world, which is Sat, which is eternal, which is Chit, which is full of knowledge, and which is full of Ananda, bliss. So the purpose of a jiva in this material world is to somehow endeavor, struggle, do tapasya, and go back to spiritual world. And this human form of life is a very, very favorable condition to attain this goal. So Srimad Bhagavatam is such a literature, a divine literature, which cuts off all the knots of this material world. Sometimes people become shocked when they read Bhagavatam. Because in the material world, everyone are so much interested in accumulating more money, more women, more houses, more cars, bigger bungalows, accumulate more gold. But in Bhagavatam it says gold is yellow stool. And people come shocked. Oh, what is this? It's selling yellow stool. And big, big palaces, they are called as Gandharvapura. So Gandharvapura is like when we see the clouds. So we see different shapes. We may see as a big bungalow or something like that. And after some time, as the air blows, the cloud vanishes. So similarly, our life here, whatever we accumulate, our money, family members, society, nation, these are all for a temporary period of time and just vanishes. So Bhagavatam tells us that don't be attached to all these things. In Kannada, they say, Honnu, Hennu, Mannu. Honnu means gold. Hennu is woman. And Mannu means earth. So people are after honnu, gold, hennu, women, and property, mannu. So as long as a person is attached to these things, he gets entangled in the cycle of birth and death. So Bhagavatam tells us develop renunciation. Two things. One is renunciation towards a material world, and second is attraction towards Krishna. So all the aspirations of a materialistic person is condemned in Bhagavatam. And then the spiritual abode, the spiritual qualities of renunciation and dedication and surrender to Guru and Krishna is being glorified. So Prabhupada gives an example. So like a king is giving so much charity to beggars. He may give gold, wealth, sometimes nice clothes. So it looks attractive for a beggar. But the king keeps the best of the things what he has to his children. Similarly, in this material world, whatever we are seeing, women, property, gold, these are all like the king, Krishna giving to beggars, the king giving to the beggars. But for his devotees, pure devotees, he awards his own planet, the Golok Vrindavana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Anandambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. So Goloka Vrindavana is every time Ananda, every second more and more Ananda, it's increasing, ever increasing. There is no end to it. In the material world, although we find Ananda initially, later on ends up in giving lot of misery. So Krishna giving this material world all the pleasures to people, this is all temporary for the atheistic people. So pure devotees are not attracted towards such things. So pure devotees are always attracted towards Guru and Krishna. And Krishna will grant his devotees pure love, which is very rare. So Srila Prabhupada gives the example of fire and smoke. So spiritual world is like fire and material world is like smoke. Smoke burns our eyes, it makes us cough, whereas fire gives us warmth and light. So in the spiritual world, it's called as Vaikunta. Kunta means miseries. Vaikunta means no miseries. So we should give up this kunta. This world is full of miseries. So Brahma is glorifying the spiritual world, which is like the fire. And he is requesting everybody. Brahma glorifies in the future shlokas, Brahma glorifies the Vaikunta planets. And then he also feels sorry that how unfortunate we are that we have left that world and we have come here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions in Shikshashtakam, Namnamakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Krupan Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Jani Nanu Ragaha. So although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this holy name, Krishna has given us this holy name, and there are no hard and fast regulations to chant this. You can chant anywhere, everywhere. And Krishna has invested all his potencies in the holy name, but we are so unfortunate that we have no attraction for them. Similarly, so the Vaikuntha planet is full of bliss, full of ananda. The only quality we have to develop is surrender. So if you surrender to Krishna, we get all the ananda which Krishna has. But so we are so unfortunate, we are not able to surrender and you are running behind all these temporary materialistic things. So Sripad Shankaracharya mentions there are three main things which are very important. One is the human form of life. Second is to obtain a guru. And third is a desire to return to Krishna. So after millions of lifetimes, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. So after millions of life, you have got a human form now. And then by the mercy of devotees, we also get a guru. But the desire to go back to Krishna is still dependent on us. So unless we develop that undeviated desire to go back to Krishna, we cannot go back to him. Krishna says, Mam ekam sharanam raja. Ekam. Very specifically he mentions, in your mind there should be only one desire, that is me. No anya devatas, no other small desires, nothing. Only one desire, that I want to be a servant of Krishna. So this is what our whole tapasya is all about. We have to struggle. So Brahma didn't get the darshan of Krishna and Vaikuntha planet so easily. He also underwent so many austerities for so many millions of years. But we are so fortunate that we are born in Kali Yuga, and we also came after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and after Srila Prabhupada appeared. So Srila Prabhupada has given us a maximum discount. He said, follow 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds, and preach. So you just catch hold of my dhoti, follow your footsteps, I will take you to Krishna. So we are so fortunate. So we have to develop that desire. Yes, after seeing the whole world, now in today's time, we are now undergoing this corona crisis. So this is Adi Bhautika Klesha, the miseries caused due to other living entities. So nobody is spared, neither the rich man, poor man, American president, or anybody. Everybody are affected by these things. So all the plans, whatever they had done in material life, everything has been shattered by this Adi Bhautika Klesha. So time and time again, we are all undergoing this. Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adi Adhyatmika. Misery is due to body, misery is due to other living entities, misery is due to the nature. So we have to somehow see all these things. Use your intelligence. Our intelligence, the Lord has given us intelligence, not to use all these technical instruments. The intelligence has been given so that we can elevate ourselves from material thoughts to spiritual thoughts. So we should completely engage in listening to the pastimes of Krishna, his names, his form. Everything is divine. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, in every story, in every chapter, it keeps on repeating the same thing, that we have to give up the desires to enjoy the material world and we have to surrender to Krishna. So Krishna is there, Krishna's whole world is there. It is full of variety. There are so many varieties in Krishna's planet. So we are seeing the varieties in the material world. This is just a reflection of the spiritual world. Because in the spiritual world, there are so many varieties. In the reflection also, we are seeing so many varieties. But in this variety, there is no eternal bliss. This is like a reflection. Urdhamula Matha Shakam. In the 15th chapter, read Urdhamula Matha Shakam. There is a tree which is inverted. So here, the inverted tree, the material world, there are so many things. Some are atheists, some are karmakandis, doing so many yajnas for elevating to higher planetary systems. But this tree has to be cut off. Krishna says, cut off this tree with intelligence so that you can elevate to the spiritual world. So Krishna is accompanied by so many associates. So many divine living beings are there in the spiritual world. So in the material world also, there are so many assistants for a president of a country. He's accompanied by his ministers, and there is the police. Whenever he comes and goes, there are so many people. Similarly, for Krishna, he is the supreme Lord for all the material and spiritual universes. So, and he has so many people, devotees who are serving him. The difference between service in the material world and service in the spiritual world is different. In the material world, somebody could be serving the president because he's giving him money, salary. That's why they're serving him. If he doesn't give money, then they will leave him. But in the spiritual world, they are not doing it out of any desire. They are doing out of love. So we see in Mayapur, Radha Madhav deities, and there is the Ashtasakhis. One is holding chamar, one is holding flower, one is holding tambula. So like that, there are the gopis, then there are the manjaris, then there are so many devotees who are serving Krishna in various rasas. Vatsalya, Madhurya, Sakhya, Vatsalya. So in this way, Krishna is he is showing us whenever he comes, Paritranaya Sadhunam. So to elevate his devotees from material world to spiritual world, he comes and does so many leelas. Then when the devotees deviate, he corrects them immediately. So we see in the Govardhan Leela, so, Indra was puffed up because of his powers given to him by Krishna. Krishna awarded him powers. He made him Indra. He gave him the position of the king of Devatas. But suddenly he became puffed up and he began to rain heavily on the Vrindavan. And Krishna had to lift the Govardhan hill. So Krishna showed Indra, see this how in his left hand, the little finger. So he lifted the whole 30-kilometer wide Govardhan hill for almost a week. And Indra humbled down. He understood that this is supreme personality of Godhead. He tried everything. Not only rain, Samvartaka, clouds, then he used his Vajrayuda to topple that Govardhan hill. But with all the efforts he put, he couldn't even shake an inch of the Govardhan Parvat. All the animals on the Govardhan Parvat are also running around very freely. They are not even afraid of the thundering or the rain or anything. So this is the protection offered by Krishna. And when Indra surrendered to Krishna, Krishna spoke in a very grave voice. His voice rumbled like thunder. It mentions the Bhagavatam, like a rumbling voice. So he told Indra that I am the Supreme Lord, you are my servant. So never forget this. So here we see in the material world, there are so many people, like the politicians, they're all claiming, I will take care of you, please vote for me. I will give you all supplies, water supply, current, 24 hours current, 24 hours water, nice road facilities, free from diseases. But they don't do anything. So here it's all fake because nothing is under their control. As soon as the elections are over, and the minister is not seen in that area itself. However, Krishna is not like that. Krishna is the owner of all the energies. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Krishna says, I am the powerful among the powerful. So all the energies are under me. Everything works under me. So all the things you have to do is surrender to me. So Krishna is giving the knowledge. So Krishna is not egoistic. That it's a reality. Just like father and mother are telling the children, I'm your father, I'm your mother. It is not ego, it is a reality. Similarly, we have forgotten, all the jivas are forgotten that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and we are running behind all these material sense gratification and we are suffering. So Krishna, being very merciful, he is coming and revealing the knowledge. Sometimes Krishna comes, sometimes he sends his pure devotees, Bhaktisar Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, all the Vaishnava Acharyas, they come to help us attain the eternal Ananda which we are craving for. Sometimes he has to use force because the jivas are so nasty, they don't surrender so easily. Just like a mother telling the kid, so don't eat chocolates. So she keep on telling, mother keeps telling, if you eat chocolate, I'll beat you. It is not that mother is envious of the child eating chocolates. The child is eating chocolates, its teeth are getting spoiled and teeth are fallen. So sometimes mother beats the child. And then in future, if somebody gives a chocolate, if uncle and auntie comes and gives a chocolate, then mother will look at mother. Oh, mother, should I take or not? So it's like that. Maya is offering us various types of illusions in the form of father, mother, wife, children, society, name, fame, power. So Krishna is saying, no, don't get attracted towards that. Surrender to me because I am your well-wisher. Suhurdam sarvabhutanam nyatmam shantim ruchati. If you want to be really happy, you want to be really peaceful, then you have to surrender to me, not to some devatas or anything else apart from this. So, various leelas Krishna does is to make the jiva surrender to him. So, Krishna is a very compassionate father. So, he is always thinking how to surrender, how to make the jivas voluntarily surrender. Krishna is not like a very um, forceful boss. So, in the material world, boss is like forcing us. But Krishna doesn't force us. He gives the jiva his independence. You want what you want, you do. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna gives all the knowledge to Arjuna. Then he says, whatever the knowledge, Raja Vidya, Raja Goyam, the topmost knowledge I have given to you. Now you decide what you want to do. And Arjuna, being a very intelligent person, surrenders to Krishna and says, all my illusion is gone and I'm ready to do whatever you want. All my confusion is gone. I don't have anything else. My only desire is to serve whatever you say. So we also have to surrender. Always this world is confusing us with so many things. Sometimes happiness, material happiness is also deviating us. Material distress also is disturbing us. So we have to surrender, take the shelter of Krishna, just like the Govardhan Vrindavan Nivasis. So when Indra showered so much rain, they didn't go and request Indra, please, we are sorry, we did mistake, please forgive us. They didn't go to Indra. They said, went to Krishna, said, Krishna, you told us to do like this, and we offered everything to Govardhan. Now you save us. We should be dependent on Krishna for everything. Should not run around here and there for anything. For all the problems, if you have material desires, if you have any problems, or you want to serve Krishna with love, just go to Krishna. Don't go anywhere else. So in this way, so Jiva is always trying to fight. Jiva is also telling, I am also Sachidananda. I am also eternal. I am also, having knowledge. But we are not Sachidananda as Krishna. Krishna is Purna Purushottama. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashashaha Shriyaha Jnana Vairagya Astikyam Sannam Bhaga Indyangana. So Bhagavan, Krishna is called as Bhagavan, means who has all the 6 opulences in full. So we don't have all the opulences in full. We may have little opulences. But Krishna has all the opulences in full. That's why he is Bhagavan. And so we Jiva have to surrender to Bhagavan. And like Prabhupada tells the example, just like a spark. When it is burning along with fire, it is happy. But if it falls out of fire, it will burn for some time and then it diminishes. It gets off. So as long as we are connected to the Supreme Lord, Krishna, we are also happy. But if we try to go away from him, try to be independently happy, then we bring suffering to ourselves. So Bhakti Vedanta Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so they gave us the knowledge of Krishna and also they fought against all these bogus gurus. There are so many people during Bhaktivinoda Thakur time, Bhakti Thakur time, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared, so many Sahajiyas, Aul, Baul, so many people, they try to bring bogus philosophies, claiming themselves to be Krishna. And there was Mayavad, telling that there is no form, we are only God. So even now, this continues. So thousands of years since the beginning of creation, there are always atheistic people. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Vena. They all claim that there is no God, I am only God. So even now, there are so many people wearing saffron cloths, self-styled gurus. And there are so many followers also for them. They have big, very huge ashrams everywhere. And we recently know there is one person now who has taken up an island somewhere in America. So telling like how he started to preach. So he used to go to all big software companies and tell a Bhagavad Gita lecture he used to give and tell, I have not come here claiming to be God. I am not God. You are God. So he is telling that you are God. This is his philosophy. In this way, he is cheating people. And then he has made so much money, he has so many followers all over the world. And he has bought an island and he still continues to do with some yoga asana, some yoga siddhis he has got. So sometimes devotees get bewildered. Oh, how is that he became so powerful and so many followers? And we are doing so much tapasya, following 4 regulative principles, and still we are struggling so much. Within devotee circle also, there is so much misunderstanding. So many things are happening. So we need to understand these are all tests. So Krishna is testing us. Just like the gold. Gold which is found in earth, it is mixed with various types of impurities. So it is heated, it is beaten, then it is chemically treated, then it is twisted, turned, then it is made into a beautiful jewelry, and then which is placed on Krishna. Similarly, we have to undergo various types of austerities. Follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. So these days, gambling, you think gambling is just playing some cards or lottery. Gambling is also, now gambling has taken different forms. The use of this mobile, internet. People are spending so much time on internet, watching WhatsApp, watching YouTube videos. I think we are watching spiritual videos only. But what is the implementation? We are just watching, but we are not implementing. The Prabhupada used to send his devotees daily, morning to evening, they used to go and do Harinam Sankirtan day and night. So now we have the Kartik Mas going on, and next month is book marathon. So we have to prepare ourselves. So we have to read the scriptures, understand, implement in our life, and we have to go out and preach. We have to connect more and more people to Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the devotee who teaches the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to others is more dear to me. So it is our duty that we have to take the shelter of a guru, be in the company of Vaishnavas, implement the Vedic rules and regulations in our life, do tapasya, and then we have to go out and connect more people to Krishna. So we have to preach to others. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yara deka tarekaha karo Krishna upadesh. So Brahma got the knowledge from Krishna, and Brahma revealed the knowledge to various devotees, his disciples and their disciples and their disciples. So Prabhupada went to West. What was his only desire? To preach the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, to please his guru. With that motive, he went to West. He traveled around the world for 14 times with the only intention, Guru and Krishna be pleased with this endeavor. Similarly, we also have to struggle. So we have got this opportunity because of Prabhupada's mercy. Prabhupada shed his blood traveling around, and we have got this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So we have to implement that in our life. So we have to divide our time. We are all busy. So many of you are grihasthas. You are working there in a different country, different places. But somehow the 24 hours of time, 8 hours for working, 8 hours for other family activities, and remaining another 8 hours for spiritual preaching. In that 8 hours, our self-study, our sadhana, shravanam, and then going out on preaching. So we have to include 8 hours of spiritual activities in our life. So Krishna, with his various energies, Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, then Tatastha Shakti, so spiritual world, Antaranga Shakti, spiritual planets, then there is spiritual mother, father, eternal father, mother, and then there's a Bahiranga Shakti, Durga Devi, and various energies, Tamoguna, Rajoguna, Satvaguna, and there's Tatastha Shakti, we Jivas, so who are independent to take the shelter of either Maya or Krishna. So in this material world, so Krishna has to come and then beat us. So he's telling Indra, surrender to me, I am the master, you are a servant. But in Vaikuntha planets, all the jivas know that. They pray, Vishnu, you are the master, we are your servant. But in Golok Vrindavan, all the devotees, they consider Krishna to be their son, to be their friend. You are my friend, you are my son. So Vatsalya, Sakhya, Madhurya. So this is how the mode of relationship is. So in this way, so Brahma giving the knowledge, Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So the first living entity, Brahma, is revealing this knowledge. Krishna is everything. Krishna is the Supreme Bhagavan. And we all need to surrender to him. So we need to do tapasya. This material world, we are there. So we have to somehow control our senses. As Rupa Goswami says in the Upadeshamrita, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udaro Prastha Vegam, Etan Veganyo Vishaheta Diraha, Sarvam Apiman Pativimsa Shishyat. So there is an eternal world waiting for us. Krishna is waiting for us, where we can be eternally happy there. So for that, we have to put our endeavor. We have to control our tongue, our mind, and utilize all the things in service of Krishna. Krishna says that you should have Yukta Vairagya, not just Vairagya. Don't reject, like Mayavadis, don't reject this material and utilize everything. So you have mobile in hand, now we are using for online classes. So utilize in a proper way. Don't get carried away by these things. The purpose of all these things is somehow or other connect to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Sanand Prabhu.
We can open for some question answers, Prabhu, now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please ask now. But I have one question. Of course, Krishna said as Suhurdam Sarva Bhutanam. That means he's only doing good for everyone, right? So sometimes he will not give to a devotee for good reasons. So devotees sometimes they end up going to Devas, right? Oh, Devas answering my prayers. Krishna didn't answer my prayers. We've heard this a few times, right? But it's sometimes perplexing why Krishna is doing that to a new devotee or upcoming devotee, and then he's now goes away from Krishna consciousness, right? So how to explain this, bro? Some devotee saying, you know, I'm praying to Krishna, Krishna not answering my prayers, but Deva is answering quickly. Of course, Krishna is saying this in the Sastras, but why is this doing? If somebody is a Pakka devotee, is happening like that, we can understand because Krishna doesn't give. But why is Krishna doing it and then discouraging a devotee to become a Vaishnava? Right? So just understand this.
Well, as per the whatever lectures I have heard, so all the acharyas, they say that there's always a test. So Krishna is not so cheap that he'll be available so easily. So a lot of testing is done, just like a child. So if he has to pass through the exam, he has to go to the next year, next class, then he has to write an exam. He has to study for the test and write the exam. Similarly, so Jiva, he comes with a lot of, Krishna says, Artho, Arthartho, Jignaso, Jnani, 4 types of people come to me. So he may be desiring some wealth, or he may desiring for some relief from some material miseries. Some may be curious to know. So then he has to go further. He has to become a bhakta. So if Krishna is granting everything immediately, then it becomes like, oh Krishna, then the devotee is not pure. So it is like karma mishrita bhakti. So all the yajnas, the karma kanda yajnas are there. So many people used to do. Maharaj Prachina Barishat. So he was doing so many karma kanda yajnas, Daksha Prajapati. So he was worshipping Vishnu. They were doing so many yajnas for satisfaction of Vishnu. But they wanted something material, big kingdom. Daksha was doing for so many children. And Maharaja Prachina Barishat was becoming more powerful with all the yajnas, one after yajna, one after yajna. Then Narada Muni comes and tells him, see, what is it you are doing? So all these karmakanda activities, although you are doing it by under Krishna's mercy, but there is still karmic reactions behind it. You'll have to suffer for all these things. Papa, punya will always accompany you. So give up all these karmakanda activities and then surrender to Krishna fully. So similarly, so Krishna doesn't want us to be, behind his power, wealth, whatever he is granting us. Okay, he's giving us money, he's giving us this. So let us go to Krishna. No. Krishna wants our love. It's like father and mother take care of children. It's not because, not fully that in future they will take care of him. They also want the love. So Krishna wants all the jivas to love him. That is what Krishna's expectation is. So Krishna will sometimes give, sometimes he'll take away, so that the jiva should surrender complete to him and depend on him for everything. And also serve him with love and not expect that I want that, I want this. The stories like Sudhama. So Sudhama didn't have anything. And when he went to meet Krishna, he didn't ask anything. He said, I'm happy that Krishna remembers me. And Sudhama was so much satisfied with that. So that is then what Ananda, what Sudhama was getting, that was more than if Krishna had granted him something else. If he had asked, if Sudhama had asked, okay, give me something, my wife is asking some money, and Krishna could have given immediately there. But that Ananda would have not have been as much Sudhama felt when he was returning. He was thinking, oh, Krishna remembered me. Oh, such a nice friend of me. So this is the pure love. And Krishna is ready to give us his Vaikuntha. So why aspire for all the materialistic things which are available here? This is all reflection. Whatever is there, we get money or power or whatever is there is just temporary. So Krishna doesn't want us to want to give temporary things. So he depends on sometimes when Sudama, when Krishna was completely convinced that Sudama is not going to deviate. So then he gave big palace, so many servants, everything he got. Because Krishna was convinced that Sudama is not going to deviate. Similarly, so Krishna is checking. Initially he will give, then he'll take away, and again he'll check. So what is our pure intention? And when we show that, oh Krishna, whatever position we are in, whether we are in happiness or we are in distress, we will never give up. Yatha tatha va vizdatulam pato mat prana natastu saeva napara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this, whatever we are, whatever position we are in, we should be connected to Krishna. So that will give happiness to both Krishna and for the Jiva also. And Krishna wants Jiva to be happy. Thank you, Prabhu. I think I just shared my opinion, but you can also share your answer.
The answer is good, Prabhu. Very nice answer. Wonderful answer. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Any other questions? Lakshman Rao, Prabhu?
Prabhu,
any
Hare
question?
Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, in that, in your same question, it is everything is given by the Krishna only, no? But it is demigods also is means the granting, and it is means it is the Krishna's mercy only, no? It is how we can understand this, Prabhu. Is granting by the Krishna, or it is for example, there is an prime minister is giving another finance minister or something that it is granting to others. It is in that same way. It is how we can understand this.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the question. So Prabhupada gives us this example. Okay, the citizens of a country. So these citizens of the country, so we need some material benefits. So we need to go and approach the ministers. So we need current supply, we need road supply. So we need some permissions for doing so many things. So these are like the the citizens, the normal citizens, and these ministers are like the devatas. So we have to go approach them for something to get done. And even though we get these things, in this lifetime, they are there for some time, and after that it's going to get destroyed. Again, we are reborn again. Again, we are somewhere else. We may be humans, we could be animals, we could be plants. And we can't even ask, we have to just suffer. Whereas there are other citizens who are like the Prime Minister's family. The Prime Minister's family do not have to ask anything. They are just there with the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister will take care of everything. So pure devotees who are sent to Krishna, so they are like the family members of the Prime Minister. So we go to Golok Vrindavan and we not have to ask anything. Krishna will take care of us for everything, and it is eternal. It is not going to be destroyed. It is eternal. Whereas the whatever blessings we get from devatas, they are very short-lived. Just like Ravana. So he did so much tapasya for Lord Shiva. He got a golden kingdom, Sri Lanka. But it was short-lived. It was destroyed. He also got destroyed. And one more thing is, when we worship devatas, we become puffed up. So we forget Krishna. And then we start doing things which are against the rules and regulations. And then we get destroyed. And the devatas will not come to help us. So all the asuras we see in the Shastra, we read, they all worship devatas only. Some are devotees of Brahma, some worship Shiva, some worship Durga, Ganapati, Kartikeya. So all the asuras which were destroyed in Vrindavan, they were all there from so many millions of years. They had got so much blessings from all these devatas. But ultimately, they became so puffed up. They were doing so much nonsense, disturbing the people in general. And Krishna had to destroy all of them. So by worshipping devatas, in order benefits we get, one is it is temporary. Second is we become puffed up with those powers. And then we bring great amount of distress to ourselves. But when we worship Krishna, just like Dhruva Maharaja did, so Dhruva Maharaja, although he had a desire to get a kingdom bigger than Brahma, but because he worshipped Krishna, he became purified. And by that, he got a kingdom higher than Brahma, the Dhruva Loka. And also he went back to Vaikuntha planets. So whatever you have desire, you want to obtain something material, still worship Krishna only. This is what Krishna says. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that whose mind, whose intelligence is kidnapped by Maya, so they go and worship Devatas. But who are intelligent, they come to me. So we may get materialist thing, but as we read from the Shastras, we read from the Acharyas, the instruction is that don't ask anything. Just surrender to Krishna. That is the highest thing what you do, activity. Just like a child, a small baby is so much dependent on its parents. It doesn't ask, Mommy, give me food. Mommy, change my diaper, change my clothes. All it does is cry. And mom will come and do everything what is required. Similarly, our only activity is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's the only activity we have to do. And Krishna will do whatever is required for us. That is pure devotion. And this will give us unlimited eternal happiness.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you for answer.
Okay, Prabhu. Now you can proceed with your presentation, Prabhu.
I think Divya Gaurang Mataji asked some question.
Yes. Who? Oh, Divya Gaurang. Okay, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. If there is time, I will ask question or I can miss it, Prabhuji.
No, you can ask question. We'll have one last question from Mataji and that's it.
Okay. Okay. So, Sarathi Shama Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, my Dandavat Pranam to you. So, nice class. Thank you so much for your class. Prabhuji, I wanted to ask a very personal question. I'm talking about myself here, not other devotees. Sometimes I have this, there should be, I feel, integrity in the words and the mind and the thoughts and everything. Sometimes we feel, I feel like that someone surpasses me or does better than me, whether it's in spiritual life or some service. How to genuinely feel happy for them. I might be praising them, but inside there is this turmoil going on. It's because it's to err is human, and I'm just taking my own stock every day of my mental thoughts, and I want to improve on it. So it's a very personal thing, but at the same time, I feel comfortable to ask here this question. And for my own consciousness and elevation, I thought I should be honest and genuine and ask rather than, have this one face for outside world, one for you at home. That happens. And so I'm talking about myself. So how can I, so if someone does better than me or someone is genuinely doing well more than me, then I do praise because we should do that. But then how to genuinely feel happy? Sometimes, you think, oh, I made this cake or I did this. Wow, so nice. But then I think, Hare Krishna, this is so ugly, the inside of me, to be thinking so good about me. But how can I change this? And my Guru Maharaj always says that humility is the primary necessity. And we can't bring it artificially. But so how to work on this, Prabhuji? Please, can you guide me?
Thank you for your question, Mataji. So we see that all the devotees, not only here, even in the spiritual world, all the devotees are trying to endeavor to please Krishna. But in the spiritual world, they always encourage each other to progress. The difference between Lakshmi Devi and Radharani is this only. Lakshmi Devi doesn't allow anybody to go near Vishnu. So the only person who can go near to Vishnu is only Lakshmi Devi. All the other people will be standing just near the door, the Dwarapalas, Jaya, Vijaya, just offer namaskar from far off. But Radharani is different. So any gopi who comes and wants to associate with Krishna, so Radharani encourages her, come. So we see, heard so many stories like Shiva wanted to be part of Ras Leela, and Narada Muni wanted to be part of Ras Leela. So he takes a dip in the Manas Sarovar, then becomes Naradi. Then all the gopis take to Radharani. So there's a new gopi. And Radharani is like, wow, so nice. Please come and take it to Krishna. And Krishna, Radha takes her to Krishna. So similarly, it's nice that we try to do, we should have the desire that we have to do something special for Krishna. And when somebody glorifies, oh, very nice, you've done such a great thing. So then we should always tell, okay, whatever I have done is because of my mercy of Guru and Krishna. Of course, initially it may not come from heart. It may be external, but keep on telling, keep on telling, keep on telling. So naturally, it becomes a habit that our these glorification desires become purified, and then we really start feeling that yes, it is because of the desire of Guru and Krishna. So we should. It's a habit. We keep on telling, just like a kid. The kid doesn't know the daily morning. Mother, father will come. Hey, good morning, beta. How are you? So it says good morning, good morning. It doesn't want to say good morning, but it says it becomes a practice. Similarly, so although we have this desire for name, fame, but whenever we are being glorified when we did something, we always say it is because of mercy of Guru and Krishna. So as we keep on telling, that desire becomes purified. So and then we can also offer, okay, if somebody wants to learn how to make this cake, so you can come whenever you are free, I can teach you. So it should not be like, I'll not teach this recipe to anybody. I will just hold on to me so that I only get glorified. So you tell, okay, if you want, you can come. I can help you with these things. So we develop that, okay, whatever we learned something, we share that knowledge to others. Whatever we, so just like we don't, for our kids, with our children, we won't be so much miserly, we tell them whatever good things we have, we share with them. Similarly, the devotees are the real family. Just like we look at our children, so we have to consider that's our real family, mother, father. So these are my brothers. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is what, that we are all part of Krishna. So everybody are devotees. So we try to share when we share, and also if somebody does something better than us, so we should go and approach them and tell them, oh, nice, very nicely you have done. So I also would like to learn that. So if you can help me teach that recipe of cooking, or maybe music, teach some kartal, mridanga, or how to try to preach, how do you make notes, how did you do kirtan program, how do you do book distribution, any activity you do, glorify them. So they also become satisfied. So everybody has that inside. That's why we are here. No? The whole Jivatma is in this material world is because it wants to be independently lording over nature. So in the Chaitanya Leela, when there is a pastime, Chaitanya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Lakshmi Priya marriage. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu orders. I just forgot the devotee's name. So he was in charge of the marriage ceremony, all the arrangements he was doing, and he told these brahmanas are coming. They are coming 2-3 times to get the gifts, chandan, and so many gifts are being given out. He said, how many times ever they come, don't stop them. Please keep on giving. They should become so much satisfied that they shouldn't go and ask like that. They should become greedy. That greediness should go off. So keep on giving them. How much they want, you keep on giving. I'll supply. So like that, we have the desire to become glorified. So we have the desire that we have to be the best. So you try your level, put your endeavor to be the best, and then somebody glorifies you. You're happy about it. At the same time, just use little intelligence and say like whatever glorification is there is because of Guru and Krishna. So remember this Indra's pastime. So we have to remember all these pastimes while we are reading the Bhagavatam. So Indra was given the position. So Indra is not a non-devotee, he's a devotee. Because he was a devotee, he was given that position, responsibility of becoming the Devata. But then he became puffed up by his position. Then he again had to be taught a lesson. So like in a classroom, when a teacher beats a student because of talking, the other student who is next to him will also become afraid. If I talk, I'll also get a beating. So I should not talk. That is a good student. So we should be like good students. We see that all the so many dandas have been given. So I should not receive danda. So I should become alert. This is the nature of a good student. So we should voluntarily, this is all voluntarily trying to accept few things. So let me not become like a bad student. So let me be a good student. So voluntarily give up those desires, encourage others, and offer everything, whatever our success is there is because of Vaishnava's mercy. So slowly, slowly we keep on repeating. If not internally, also externally, we keep on repeating. So over a period of time, it will come from heart. So at
Thank you
least
so
start.
much.
That is a good thing.
Thank you, Prabhuji. By the way, the cake baking was just an example. I don't know baking at all, and my daughter is baking very well. So that was just an example. I just love to eat cake. I don't know baking. But thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much for a wonderful class, Prabhu. You have now some presentation.
Actually, I
Prabhu
had
wants to
sent
screen.
it,